Greetings and stalagmites, everyone. Thinking I might use that as my greeting from now on. Not sure. Maybe. We'll see. Hello. Today may be a bit of a short one. We'll see. Just had a few little things to talk about today. Not anything too terribly exciting. Been watching a lot of Downton Abbey lately. Lot of Downton Abbey. I'm on season 3? Season 3 now. I realized, of course, that felt like I was missing an episode every time I went from last episode of season 2, just for instance, to last episode or first episode of season 3, or last of season 1, first, etc. And had noticed that, well, it's because I am. There's a Christmas special. A Christmas special that airs, apparently. So I guess that's why I feel like I'm missing an episode, because I am. And unlike Doctor Who, it's actually important to the story. So, yeah. So now I get to go back and rewatch 2 or 3 hour-and-a-half long episodes. Awesome. Very good show, though. Very good show. I would highly recommend it to anybody who enjoys dramas in any way, shape, or form. British dramas or otherwise. It just... very good show. Very well done. I love Maggie Smith. And I can't remember the actress's name, but Harriet Jones, MP for Fidel North, if you've watched Doctor Who. She's also in this, and regularly, so she's one of the main characters. Both of them are. It's very, again, couldn't recommend it enough if you like dramas. Other than that, we finally got some rain today, barely. I wasn't awake for much of it, but sadly, or at least we did get some. And it actually looks like in the forecast there's going to be some coming up rather soon, off and on throughout the next 7 to 10 days, which is going to be awesome, because California needs it. And plus, well, I miss the rain and would love to take more photos and just breathe it in. I miss it. It's been a while. Other than that, tomorrow's Friday. Woo! Get out the party streamers and those things. Whatever those are. I can't remember the name of them. This week's kind of dragged on. Perhaps it's just the way pay weeks are. They tend to drag on quite a bit. But I'm looking forward to the weekend, as always, and it's never, as always, going to be long enough. So, yeah, such is life. But other than that, the only other thing I really had to talk about today was this. Perhaps I can go into a bit more length about. Is kind of what it's like to live out on your own. Whether you're a young viewer who is under 18, or whether you are 18, or whether you are over 18. If you have never lived by yourself, I mean, I still only live with one other roommate, one of my best friends, and it's the least I've ever lived with in my life, and it's very, very odd. It's sunk in now, and it's been about 2 or 3 months. But I can't get over it. There's moments when I'm doing things by myself or doing things for myself, and I just think to myself, this is what it would have been like, for me, 10 years ago. I've never lived with only one other person. I mean, I'd lived with my mom, but that doesn't count. Living and having different schedules, sort of, to some extent, and different interests, or whatever the case may be, adds to the whole, well, you're pretty much by yourself, hanging out with your own set of friends, whatever the case may be. But it's weird. It's very weird. And it's also empowering, I would say, in a way, because no longer do you have to worry about those things that You don't have to worry about what anybody else is thinking about anymore. It gives you one of those senses where if you didn't already have the, well, I don't care what anybody thinks about me, well, that may very well do it, because you don't have to worry about anybody anymore. To some extent, I still am, and always will be, the same kind-hearted person that I've always been, but it doesn't mean that I haven't learned things from being on my own in terms of how to, I mean, to some extent my last relationship also taught me that, a lot of it, actually. It was eye-opening to see what it was like when I had to rely on myself more than anybody else, and I couldn't, it was extremely hard to get used to. I was used to relying on others for things. There would be infrequent cases where I would ask for help or ask for a ride or whatever the case may be, but it was a big change, and it was for the better. But it's just one of those things that I figured would be a point of interest for tonight, just because I didn't have a whole lot else to talk about, as well as something that would perhaps be interesting to those who have not lived on their own, or whatever the case may be. It's also not necessarily just being alone, but also being single and living by yourself. So that's even weirder, because there's the coming home at night, or going to bed at night, and no one being there. But there's also the plus side of, well, I can do what I want. I don't have to do something for somebody else if I don't want to. I can actually put myself first for once. The years in the past, I had been very used to, well, putting other people first. And there are certain things, and perhaps even certain people, that I will still do that for. If you are one of my friends and you need someone, anybody, then I can be there for you. And I pride myself in thinking that I'm one of the very few people that'll do that. Not many people will just say, call me in the middle of the night if you need me, and actually mean it. Or any time of day or night, or I just need this, or even if it's something simple. I've always been one of those kinds of people that has been wanting to make others happy. Because it makes me happy too, but just because it feels good inside to know that I've helped someone with whatever they did, or whatever they needed. The other thing I pride myself in is honesty. Ever since one of my relationships, not my last one, but one of my one before that? No. A few relationships back. Ever since one of those had gone sour, and it was because of dishonesty on my part, I realized that whole guilty conscience thing really does eat at you, and it never feels good. You have to admit the truth if you really want things to just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but the guilty conscience always gets the best of me, and that's, I can't. I almost feel like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar. I can't lie. I tell the truth, I vent, and to some people that's disconcerting. Some people don't like hearing people vent, but you have to vent in life. You can't just ball it all up. If you do, you're going to end up a mess, quite literally. So I think that perhaps might be a good ending point, as I managed to blab on for looks like about 5 or 6 minutes on what started to be living on your own. So I will leave you all for now, and leave comments. Let me know if you want to hear anything, or if you have any questions, or anything at all. If you have any requests for stories, or anything at all for future video entries, because I'm going to do these. I was originally not going to do tonight's because was kind of frustrated with certain things that had happened earlier today, but even if it's short, it's worth it because it's a way of venting, just like with blogging or even writing in a journal. It's kind of weird thinking about how blogging started for me, which was LiveJournal. But I think I should save that for tomorrow. Pardon me. But I will let you all go again. And I hope all of you have a good night. This will probably be up 7:30 p.m. Pacific, which would be 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So, you East Coasters, you enjoy your bedtime. And you West Coasters, enjoy the show if you are still awake and want to watch. Otherwise, yeah, that's about it. It could be anything in terms of what you want to watch. I was just thinking, I was actually thinking as well tonight about doing, just sort of cutting in a song that I was singing earlier, Not Over You, which was originally done by Gavin McGraw, or DeGraw, I believe. And I've been singing a lot lately, aside from the Frozen soundtrack. And it's one of those ones that seems to be in the right vocal range, singing-wise. So maybe I'll do that in the future, or maybe I'll start off a vlog entry with that, or whatever the case may be. But anyway, again, leaving you now. And until next time, good night and good luck.